Whoa, I just about lost my camera. Okay, steady, easy does it. Now I feel like I'm crooked. Hang on. Think we're good? Okay. Hi, welcome to Prana Mama. I'm Chantel. I'm also known as Shanti. Shanti is a Sanskrit word for peace, and that name was given to me by one of my spiritual teachers, which I will talk to you about later as we get to know each other. I've been really mulling over where to begin with it all. Most recently, I turned 45. So I thought, well, what if I offer 45 of my most favorite life lessons? Sounds like a great place to start. So here we go. My first lesson for you is breathe. There's so much to talk about on breath. Breathe. I'm not sure what you think about this first lesson, just off the hop. You may think, well, I breathe all the time. Well, yes, you do, but I'm willing to guarantee that the way that you're breathing is not good for you. Breathing is the most important thing to mental, emotional, physical, spiritual well-being. I remember going into my first yoga class and, first of all, not really knowing what yoga was. But the teacher started the class off sitting and just doing these breathing exercises. And I remember feeling so impatient and wondering when the class was actually going to start. And I thought that the breathing was just a stupid thing to be doing. No word of a lie. It was harder than I thought. What was interesting though was I did notice how I felt after. And that's because most likely, like you, I was chest breathing. When I would inhale, the chest would expand and the belly would draw in. And then as I exhale, the chest would collapse and then the belly would relax. I had to actually reprogram the way that I was breathing. Over time, what I found was the mental calm that came with that abdominal breathing was something I hadn't experienced anywhere else. No one ever taught me abdominal breathing. Now, I've since met a lot of singers and wind instrument players, and they will tell me that certainly breath is an important part to their skill set. The abdominal breathing, it relaxes you, so it's a great way to release tension from the body, but it also quiets the mind. As you're focusing on your breathing, you are able to separate your attention from all those crazy sporadic thoughts that are happening that you can't control and you can't stop. Being trained to bring your attention away from the thoughts and bring it back to the breath and keep doing this over and over and over again. Eventually what ends up happening is you create space from who you are and your thoughts. And until that moment, you didn't realize how much you identified with your thoughts and emotions. So then basically, your sense of being was at the mercy of your emotions and your mental activity. What I also noticed is that I felt healthier. Well, of course, when you practice abdominal breathing, you're bringing in a lot more oxygen into the body. And you're actually exhaling completely. So you're emptying the lungs, which you're not doing when you're just chest breathing. On average, every human being takes roughly 20,000 breaths per 24-hour period. That's roughly 15 to 20 breaths per minute, which is 3 to 4 times faster than what is optimal for your body's functioning. Oxygen is needed for cellular respiration. So cellular respiration breaks down fatty acids and sugars so that it can be converted into energy to be delivered all throughout the body through the blood. And without adequate oxygen, that process can't be very efficient. When you're breathing that quickly, as you're inhaling, you're roughly taking in half a liter of air when your lungs are in fact capable of taking in 5 to 6 liters. So we're breathing shallow and we're breathing rapidly. That's kind of a state of fear. So that's our stress response, our fight or flight mode. Chest breathing is contributing to your stress. You're creating a feedback loop. The most interesting thing I've come across, and to me it was life-altering, in the yogic text, it mentions that the breath and the mind are intricately connected, and that where the breath goes, the mind will follow, and vice versa. So if we're not consciously breathing, we are really at the mercy of our emotions. Okay, so let's talk about how the breath and your emotional states are connected. I want you to think of a time when you've been angry and think about how you've been breathing. How do you breathe when you're angry? Or how do you breathe when you're anxious? How do you breathe when you are depressed or sad? And throughout the day when you're working, what is happening with your breath? Do you ever pay attention to that? If you do, you'll find that there's going to be moments where you are holding your breath. When we are consciously breathing and we slow the breath down and we start breathing deeply and using the diaphragm, the mind has to follow, it has to calm down. Breath is an important part of mindfulness. On a more subtle level, within the breath, it's not the breath, it's very hard to explain. So prana is actually the life force that is in all living things. It permeates everything. It's in, around us, above us, below us, it's everywhere. It's also known in martial arts as chi. When we increase that life force, then we have more vitality, we have more youthfulness, just glow. Like it creates this luster about you. When you're breathing, you're bringing in prana. We are not bringing in enough oxygen and we're not bringing in enough vital life force into the body. And then our exhaling, we're not releasing the toxins that needs to be released from the body. We're not releasing all the carbon dioxide that needs to be released from the body. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for you to really pay attention to your breath, thinking about your breathing, being aware of your breathing, and that will be your first homework, your first thing to test out. I'm going to do a separate video completely on how to do abdominal breathing so that you can practice on your own and master it. Now, many people will ask me, do you always engage in abdominal breathing? Well, I've been at this for a long time now, almost 20 years. I will say that most of the time throughout the day, I'm checking in with my breath, and there's moments where I see I'm holding it or I'm still breathing a little bit shallow. Right away, I will engage abdominal breathing. We all come into the world with abdominal breathing. If you look at a baby and you watch that baby breathing, you're gonna see their bellies expand on the inhale, contract on the exhale. It's just the natural way of breathing. We live in a stressful society. We start to care about what people think. We're told to suck it in. Well, if we suck it in, we can't breathe properly. And I admit, there's moments where I'm guilty of that too. If I'm dressed up in a bathing suit and I'm at the beach, you know, letting it all hang out, it's definitely a pride thing, I'm not gonna lie. So, but when I think no one's looking, I'm over there doing my abdominal breathing. So if I'm in the water, just standing around, no one can see me. If the water's up to here, I'm abdominal breathing. So I have these issues too. But it's the number one thing. We all need to breathe to live. But the quality of breath affects our quality of life. Yogis also say that we come into the world with a predetermined amount of breath. So breathe slowly, breathe deeply. What if everything I say is BS? What if it is? Okay. What would be the worst thing that could happen if you actually start to breathe deeper? Try it out. Pay attention to your breath every single day. It's that one free gift that can bring you right to the present moment, that can bring so much life into the body, health and well-being. It helps you to release the toxins in your body. So lesson 1, breathe. Promise me that the next time you check in, that you are going to start practicing breathing, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And be sure to check out my next video that will give you the tutorial on how to practice abdominal breathing. And it's for everyone. You'll just be amazed at how that little detail in your life can change so much. So on that note, happy breathing and thank you for watching. If you like this video, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share for others, because it's important that other people learn how to breathe. I want to know how this is working for you. Please comment below. And on my other channels, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you can like and comment there as well. Thanks for watching. Peace.